everybody. Okay, this is part 2 for our little poodle, so you can see what we're doing. What she gets is we do a bath and tidy, we scissor them up. We're going to shave her face. I usually do a 15 on my Bravura. And so we're just gonna go, we wanna make sure we don't get this hair up here. So we're just gonna come down here. You're gonna come from the corner of the eye, straight back. And we're just gonna come down. You can come in a U. If they're not being shown, you can do whatever it is that you wanna do. And then we're gonna come up this way. We're gonna get the bottom. I'm gonna pull this back right here because they have this little spot on their lip. You go backwards to get it shorter. If you're doing a show dog, a lot of times you will do a 40 blade so it looks nice and tight. I don't recommend doing a 40 on a pet or a retired dog because they don't need it like that anymore. And then we're just gonna get right in here. Get that. And now we're gonna go to the other side and just go slightly inside the ear. You gotta be careful you don't cut that hair. If you feel more comfortable to shave the face and stuff first, you can. But a lot of times, if it gets a little crazy and dogs are barking and the dog wants to see those dogs, then they'll move and then you end up having a big chunk taken out of their ear or their top knot. We don't wanna do that. We want them to look as beautiful as possible. So I'm just gonna be careful coming around the eyes. Okay, so now we got her face done. See, and it looks like it's pulling because of the weight of this. So we just pull back the other way. She had a procedure done, so she has her sanitary already done, so I don't need to do that. So I am going to turn her around. And then we're gonna do, it's a diamond on their back end, on their tail. So we're gonna come over the anus area, and you're gonna use your clipper like this. So it's like a V. So that's what you're gonna do there. And then you have the top part of your triangle there. So I'm gonna pull that hair up, and then I'm gonna reverse to go right to the base. And then I'm gonna bring this up a little bit. Now she does have a little mole on her tail here, so that's why I go a little bit lighter on the shaving there, because I don't wanna irritate that or bug that. So we're gonna double check to make sure how that looks. And I gotta say, you guys, these guys are the best little toy poodles ever. I mean, everybody's good, but these guys are really, really good. Okay, hold on, sweetie. And we're gonna turn back down. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go like in a V, upside down V. And you're gonna go right there, and then right there. So you can get a better look at this. Now the haircut they're doing is not a normal pet haircut. So I'm gonna switch over to the bigger comb. When they have more hair, you want a bigger comb, at least for me. And now I'm gonna trim this flat. I'm gonna comb, take this a little shorter, and I'm gonna come down a little farther so it's flatter, because she has a lot of hair on here. And then I'm gonna double check that. Okay, and then right here, let me move her to the side. We're gonna go at an angle. So the leg bends right there. So we're gonna go to an angle. We want to have angles on her. And we're gonna take this down. And you wanna be careful when you're scissoring here because you don't wanna trim the girly parts. Kind of an angle right there. And we're going to take this down. You want this hair to stay longer. And we're going to get to that part in a minute. And then we're going to scissor. So I have a little gap right there, so we're going to try to fix that. It's kind of right above the tuck. So I'm feeling right here where their skin is at, so I'm not gonna cut them. So that's why I want you use both your hands. And I'm just feeling underneath here where I'm cutting. And I always try to take the extra hairs off the table after I scissor so I know what I'm actually looking at. And then we're gonna go in. We wanna do a little contour. Now you can use bigger scissors. Bigger scissors are good for the standard poodles. But for these toys, it's easier with the shorter ones. Now, we're gonna come over this way. I'm gonna hang on to her ear so I don't trim the ear. Oh. And we're gonna trim right here to kind of blend this in a little bit on the chest. So we're gonna comb that up. We're gonna scissor around and we're gonna just blend this in. It's always good to go, actually I would say always best, when you're scissoring, you're gonna go with the way the hair grows. You're gonna go either up or down. If you go this way, you're gonna leave lines on the dog. And if you like the lines, go ahead and do that. I don't like the lines and it doesn't look very attractive. So what I'm gonna do is her chest area. So I'm gonna bring her leg forward because the elbow's right here. And that will give me better access to trim this. So right here, I'm doing it sideways, like I said not to. But for the belly, that's what you're gonna do, and then the side. You can also lift them up to do that. So we're gonna take a look and see, and move the hair, see where I'm at here. And a lot of times if you pick them up and then replace them down, you want them to stand like they should. Otherwise, if they're standing a little wonky, they're gonna get a wonky haircut. Oh, and she loves the camera, don't ya? Okay, here we go. We're gonna double check this up here. All right, now we're gonna come to the leg, the front leg. And she has a little spots from her little procedure. So we're just gonna trim a little bit here. Normally what you want to do is if they have a longer body, you want to make it shorter. You're going to take this shorter, leave this longer. So it all depends on what your dog has. So you're going to scissor according to what you have. So it's not going to be one size fits all. So we're going to start on that. So that's where we start out. You can do it how you want. And now I'm just gonna do like the right side and then we'll do the left side. I normally will do like all clean feet and then go from there. And on the clean feet, I will put it on a 40 and go with the hair, with the grain. And I do the pads with the 40 because it looks nice and cleaner. And if they have really sensitive skin, then I won't use the 40 on the clean feet. And so then we're just gonna reverse your clipper blade on them. And then we're gonna go in between the toes. But you gotta be careful not to cut that little webbing that they have right there. And I'll put my little baby finger in between their pads to separate those middle toes right there. And you're gonna go at an angle on each side to get those done. Now you can, if you take your Cooper this way, if you take it backwards, you can take some of that toe hair off if you can't get it normal. You just go gentle. If you rush the groomers to get your dog done and fast, a lot of times you're gonna get a fast grooming job. So if we can just not take our time, but do it in a timely manner so the dog doesn't freak out. So that's what we like to do, is make sure we're having an enjoyable time with the dog. And I'm gonna do the back of the pad here. I'm gonna come over on this side. If they try to put their face down, I usually will just like use a finger to tap them a little bit. Lots of people like to put bows on their poodles and stuff, but when you're wrapping a dog like this, there's no need to do that. And then also sometimes it just gets in the way or causes the dog wanting to rub those out. Okay, so now we got those feet done. Now we can finish up this side. And with the bottom, I'm gonna pull all this hair down. And then you can see, you want it to come up just slightly in the back. And then around the top of it, you want, if they have pretty feet, you want to show those feet. You got to show them. They're pretty feet. Usually if dogs, like even if you see them in the showroom that have like their feet not so uncovered, it's a possibility they have ugly feet. So if they have pretty feet, you got to show those features on your dog. So you got to do what's going to be best for your dog, what's going to be more attractive on your dog. Okay, so she's getting a little long here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this down. I don't want this hair to drag, but we want it to look nice. There's different things you can do also if your dog's a little heavy. If your dog's a little heavier, you want to take it shorter on the top and then a little bit longer on the bottom. This dog is not heavy, this is hair. But we wanted to have the look that she's needing. Okay, so I'm gonna fluff up. That's always a good way to see where you're at with the hair. All right, now we're gonna pull this forward. I'm gonna make sure I can come around here. And then I'm gonna trim right here in the front just to get that tidy. You can see where it goes bigger there. We're gonna get to that in just a second. If I straighten her foot out, that'll give it a little straighter look. I'm gonna do the armpits. I'm gonna come right up there. And then where I have her arm up, I'm gonna do a little bit right here so I can see on this side. Okay, so now we did that bottom part. She's got a little spot here, it's a little shorter. We're gonna try and leave that a little longer from her little IV that she had. And this is where you don't hang on too tight to the muzzle, just enough that they don't get their hair in the way of your scissors. So here's what I can do. Watch, I'm going to do this. So the elbow is right there, it bends right there. So instead of going flat, we want to add a little bit of angle. So we're going to come in just a little bit right here. Fluff that up. I don't want to take too much off, but I want to make it look better from when the procedure that she had. Don't remember what the procedure was, but that's not important. All right, got a little bit of hairs over here. Okay, now we're going to switch to the other side. We're going to go ahead and do the feet. Okay, now we're going to go to the back one. I think it's good that dogs only have 4 feet, because if you had to do 6 clean feet and make them all even, it'd be a little more difficult. And on the feet, you don't want to like pull all the way up with that leg. You want to keep it a little lower so you're not hyperextending that. And then here, I'm going to kind of support her body with my arm here while I finish doing the front of this back left foot. The great thing about poodles, if you have a haircut on the dog and you don't like it, you can, within 6 to 8 weeks, you can change that haircut. So if you want to do like different styles, you know, that's totally up to you. If you get bored with the same haircut. Okay, now we got that done. So we're gonna do the same as we did on the other side. All right, so from there, we haven't done the tail yet. From there, can you see kind of a difference we got going here? We want to make sure we make it even. Like I said, be careful scissoring right there. I'm right-handed, so it's hard to do the angle over there. So I'm just going to turn her this way so I can get the scissoring on this side done. But you want to, when you're looking at the back end, you want to have that cohesive look on each side. Okay, we're going to turn her this way so you can see a little better. Take that hair off. And then we're going to do this other side. Hang on to the ear. Okay, make sure we get the bottom part done. Hold her little ankle down so it's straight. So we can trim on this, and we can trim right here. Okay, there we go, sweetie. We are getting there. So if a dog has a hard time getting a leg, if you're working on the other leg, you can lift the opposite leg to work on the other leg, because they need to balance themselves, and it's a little easier to clip a foot, scissor the foot the way you want it. Now I'm not going to pencil the feet if I don't have to. Pencil is like where it's a little shorter at the bottom, just like a pencil. So for those of you that want to try this on your dog at home, just be careful with your scissors. You don't want to use dull scissors if your dog moves a lot. So I'm not going to tell you what the haircut on this is. This is what I want all you guys to do at home. When you're watching this video, after you watch it, I want you to comment and tell me what haircut do you feel this dog is getting? Like, what's the name of this haircut? So we're gonna do the tail. Now tails are different too, depends on the tail set of the dog, depends on if it's a low set, if it has a gay tail or a really gay tail. Gay tail is where it's up over the back, and some are like touching the back, so that's like a really gay tail. I didn't make up that name, but you know, my dog has that and I think it's pretty cute. And the thing I like about the gay tails is doesn't matter if your dog's happy or sad, that tail will still be up. So if you have a tail like that in the show ring and they don't feel very happy, the tail is still up, because that's what the judges will look for, is they'll look for if your dog has its tail up. If it's not up, you can kind of tell the dog's not that happy. But in the dog shows, it's anyone's show. You just never know if the judge likes your dog or if the judge likes who's handling the dog, which it shouldn't be, but it happens. So we do this not because we have nothing to do. We do this for the love of the dog, the love of the breed. And it just gives you a good sense of self-worth. You know, knowing that you can do this and it makes it look really good. Now, I'm just kind of going around to make it a little fluffier. I'm not going to take it too short because she's already fluffy. If you take it too short, it's going to look a little weird. Okay, so here we comb this down. We're going to go straight across, and then we're going to fluff that up. So if you were to scissor this and then do a hairspray on this dog, this top knot would go in there, and then I'd probably take some of that down if I were to do a show dog. I will show you in another video how that's done, and also how to do a spray up. If those of you are interested in how spray ups are done. And I will show you a little something else too. It's a little secret that I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it has to do with show dogs. So you're just going to have to stay tuned to find that out. All right, everybody. So remember, this is not, it's shorter there because of I got a surgery thing. So here we go. I'm just going to come around this way so you can see. You have the feet there, and then and there's your dog. Okay, everybody, thanks for joining me. I just have a couple things left to do, which is just dremel the nails and pull the ear hairs and add a little cologne, and she is good to go. So that's what we do every 10 days for this baby. All right, thanks for joining me. Don't forget to make comments on the bottom just so I know what you're saying. All right, we'll see you next time. Thanks.